Hey guys, this is Spark Plus Ultra here, and this is my part 2 on what if Deku had Echo powers. New level of skill. And I hope you like this video and hope you subscribe. Deku goes and walks toward the purple-haired girl. And Deku asks, "Hey there, what are you choosing for music?" And the girl says, I was finding something for my guitar strings. I forget there were some strings here." And the girl says, "So, do you work here?" No, Deku replies, waving his hand, saying no. And the girl was wondering, "Oh, do you come here sometimes?" And Deku says, "Come here? I'm like their #1 customer." Chuckling his face, laughing at that expression, and the girl was confused on what he meant by it. And Deku says, "If it's confusing for you," and Deku says, "Let me show you." And when the girl was getting ready to see what Deku was gonna do, another person was behind her. And the girl says, "Huh?" And another Deku appears. "Heyo!" And the girl says, "Is this your twin brother?" And Deku says, "No, I can duplicate myself. My quirk is called Echo." And the purple girl says, "Huh? Echo? Doesn't that mean a other meaning to it? I know it means copy, doesn't it also?" And yep, sound. Deku smiles. And the girl was also amazed on how quirk works. Does it has any limits? And Deku says, "Well, I do have to have a limit on 8, but at this point, I can have almost all of my clones, if I do the right training, that is." And Jiro says, "That is awesome." And Suki says, "Well, it does have drawback on durability, which I don't have that much, but I'm used to it." And Jiro says, and Zuki says, "So what's your quirk?" "At my best guess, your quirk also use sounds. That is, and it looks pretty cool on you." And girl says, yeah." And she blushes a bit and says, "My quirk is," and she taps her earphone jacks on her to, in a bit of embarrassment and shyness, my quirk is earphone jack. It allows me to use sounds and hear from deeper and hidden places. Basically, if you allow me to hear hollow things." And Zuki said, "That's cool!" With sparkling eyes, both Suku were amazed on her quirk. And Jiro says, "I don't think it's cool as yours." "No, it's really cool. I had to have a little hard time with my quirk use. My quirk also allows me to, whenever I touch something that is ringing, such as a baseball bat, when I hit a baseball, I can transfer it into me, and oh boy, that one hurts. That's why I had my headphones on. So there is some weaknesses to your quirk." "Well, you get used to it." And Zuku and the girl bonded over music. And Zuku then realized, "Oh wait, I didn't get your name." And Jiro tries to say it, but when she was going to say her name, then a certain person comes and says, "Zuku, it's time to go. You took all day finding that music you wanted." And Zuku says, "Mom!" And don't give me that excuse with your clones making it hard for you. And Then Inko grabs Zuku's shirt and pulls him back to the house. And Zuki says, "Sorry about this, but I'm sure we can meet again." And purple-haired girl says, "Yeah, I like that." And Zuku was training on his quirk and getting ready for the hero exam for UA and getting some sweet music. Haha, yeah! Oh man, I can't wait to dance through this. And Inko says, "Don't forget that you need to study." And Zuko says, and Inko says, "You did study, right?" And Zuko and Inko were doing the school work on the test. Zuko crying and trying to get used to this. Yeah, so much testing. I forgot that we got to do this. And Inko says, less whining and do your work." Yes, Mom. And Zuko studied all night and got some help from his copies. Helps his knowledge a bit. Then Zuko goes to UA and says, "Alright, I'm so tired. But it is going to be worth it." Getting a happy feeling on winning, going to be in UA. Zuko makes it out of 87 thanks to his clones and him trying to remember that. Oh boy. And Zuko says, "Oh boy, that's a nightmare. I think I used too much brain power." And Zuko then sits down and trying to calm his head and trying to process how much he has to remind himself to not kick his ass with his own clones. If I even try to use my clones, it'll lack my focus. I'll say it'll hurt like hell if one of the originals, if I'm the original. And when he says that, a person comes and says, "Good to see you, Deku." And Zuko says, "Oh, Kachan, it's good to see you. Been a while. How was the test you got?" I think I might have tweaked a lot of my brain out of that. Jeez, talk about having a shitty memory. Hey, give me a break. I didn't realize there was a test there. Seriously? God, you have a powerful quirk, but you have the worst of memories. Well, it ain't better with your attitude, Mr. Exploding out of thin air. What? You heard me. Both look at each other, and Bakugo says, whatever. It's no better to insult with this type. Yeah, now let's get at our... Then Zuko gets ready for another exam, and got separated by Bakugo. And Zuko says, "Alright, it's time to get my teamwork skills on." And cracking his arm, stretching them out, and seeing lots of people. And Zuko says, "Whew, I feel like I'm not that important." And Zuko was just joking, but still. Some students heard him say that, but they nodded off. Some of them, not all of them. But Zuko then waits for the vice principal mic, and when he waits, he hears, "Alright, you guys, it's time to take down some villains." And he says, "Ready, set, and go for those villains get away." And Zuko and all the students go. Zuko does make 6 clones of himself, so he can be teaming and scouting. Basically, it's kind of recon style, but with a mix of lifeguard. And the teachers were amazed on how Suku was doing it tactically with dealing with the robots and keeping the degree and destruction to a minimum without much incident. Suku was waiting until the game was over, the exam, until he feels a thud. Then one of the clones on his mic, on his earphones, says, "Yo, got a big guy over here." And Suku original says, "What?" "Well, it's not surprising. Did say the 0 pointer." And Suku then says, "I gotta get close up on it. I don't think you would like it." "I'll check it from a distance." Okay. Suku gets a distance and sees the 0 pointer and was at awe on how big it was. And Suki says, "Well, you guys didn't tell me it was that big." And the clones say, "Told ya." Well, I'll keep my distance. It's better not to get into a devastating battle. Then he hears a person's voice and hears, "Help!" And Suki says, "Huh?" And he sees a girl trapped in debris and was saying, "Ah, man." And then thinks to himself, "Gotta get her out of there." And Suki then thinks and says on his clone, "Hey guys, can you come to me?" And the clones say, "What do you mean?" And Suki then says, "Well, I have a plan. I thought so. We're almost the exact same person. I believe we are the exact same person." "What is it?" "Well, we're going to save a girl." And all the clones say, "What?" And Suki says, "Well, she's trapped." "Why don't you tell us?" All of them yelled. "Hey, you didn't thought it was that?" "No, I didn't see her." "How close are you guys?" I guess a few miles?" "Good. I can use the 7th one. 3 of them. I haven't used all of them." "Okay, let's go use the Sonic Barrier Dome." And the whole copy say, "What? We haven't perfected it yet." "Well, we're going to use it." And Suki runs to the girl and jumps in the air, being a astronaut-like being, and then creates 2 clones, and they say, "Echo, Echo. Alright, let's do this. Sonic Barrier." And all of them combined to stop that 0 pointers and keeping the girl safe using all their vibration. Then the 0 pointer comes down on putting his foot down, crashing and hitting on the barrier. Suku and all of the 2 clones of himself were keeping it and keeping the barrier dome steady and not break. And then all of the clones on the rooftop says, "Alright, let's make this thing crumble. Yeah." And all of the Zuko clones are ready and use a technique. Sonic Doom! And all of the clones use the attack, using it on a hyper decibel to 400, making Krakatoa blush. And the 0 pointer crumbles, getting vibrating at a high degree. All the parts that was coming were dented, getting very destroyed by the Sonic Doom. And while they were doing that, 3 of the clones were keeping the barrier in safe, trying to keep it up and not be down, and crashing down parts by parts. All the students were amazed on how they're doing this, and the teachers were were amazed on how they're doing it. And then Suki clone almost were tired out, and Suki keeps saying, "Come on, we're not withering." And then the whole 0-pointer system has been shut down and dropped on its backside. And the whole Zukis take a deep breath. Whew, boy, that was tiring. All of them lie down on the ground and were tired. And 3 of the Zukis on the ground were tired as hell and passed out. And Zuku's clones come back to him, and the 2 on the ground, and the girl was amazed on how Zuku did that. And Zuku and all the clones were coming back into one. And then Zuku wakes up. Oh boy, that was a heavy knockout. And there was a nurse saying, "Dear me, you really push yourself." And Zuki says, man, yeah, that's how much you put on how this restraint. I was lucky that the copies of me lasted that long. I was tired as hell, like doing that they were too. And the nurse said, "Well, you are lucky that the girl was safe. It was thanks to you." And Suki says, "Thank God. By the way, where's the clones?" "Oh, they already been here, but they were gone when you were here." And Zuku thanks the nurse and goes back home and has made it to UA into Class 1A. And this is where I'm ending this video. I hope you like this video and hope you subscribe. See you next time. Plus Ultra.